Since the file sizes are already so astronomically large in 1080p compared to my old camera, I thought I'd try 2.7K. It's obviously going to be a bit bigger, but I also wanted to see how this would work. I did an experiment a while ago, figuring out how my video editor handled different resolutions. It is raining, and it didn't like it that much. But I want to use 2.7K or 4K even in some scenarios, so I've got to try and figure out how to blend those things together, you know, and that's what I'm doing effectively. So I'm going to try one at 2.7K, see how big the file size is and see if it's worth it, you know. Probably it's not going to be worth it, but it probably will be worth it in scenarios where I'm like, I want the higher res. I will sit and deal with 2.7K or maybe even 4K. On a serious note, I've got to take this camera on holiday with me, and I feel like I'm going to have to take my laptop just so that I can take the files off of the camera so I can record more stuff. I also feel like I might have to do a little bit of editing as well to actually trim the videos down, because if I'm recording a huge video of me snorkeling, let's say, or swimming, I'm not going to want all of that. So there's that. Anyway, it's Friday. It's raining right now, but it's supposed to be hot later. Got a shitload of meetings today, so probably not going to get a lot done, but living the dream. Today has literally been a day of meetings. We've had like 20 minutes to... once, the biggest gap in between meetings was an hour and a half. Bear in mind, most of that was lunchtime. So it's been one of them days where I've just been chatting all day. We had like a telephone call with a third-party company, and I'm asking them questions to clear up some technical details of the integration, which I'm leading. I'm leading that those conversations for some reason. Not really sure why, but I seem to ask all the right questions apparently. So that's good. And then we had more meetings about like high level estimation. Well, without the estimation, just high level something. And then we did actual refinement of our MVP stuff. Like I said in my previous video, I'm trying to shift how we do our tickets and how we like process work, because we've done it on a very like task basis, and I'm trying to shift that into like a business focus value basis. So previously it would be like, here's what we need to do, these are all the tasks we need to do it in, let's do all of these tasks and then just drop the things that we don't are nice to have, we think are nice to have, rather than what's the smallest bit of value we can deliver and what is that chunk. And what is that chunk for the next chunk? And then at what point, after doing all of those chunks, can we technically go live? And then from that point on, what's the next important thing to do? So it's kind of like you shift between going in order until you get to the point where you don't need to do any more, technically, and the rest are all nice to have. So obviously some nice to haves are like, legitimately, we need them. But technically, they're nice to have. So like making it look pretty, it's a nice to have. Let's just race everything through first and then worry about it, making it look pretty last. We could go live with it looking dog shit awful, but we aren't going to. And it's that kind of like shift, which has been quite good fun to like try and get everyone through. But then towards the end of the day, we're all like, we're totally meetinged out. We're like, ah, fuck this dog. So back home, I got home earlier than I normally do because there's no traffic either on a Friday. And I am going to sit and churn out some code. I'm doing some wrapping my head around some Mongo stuff. Oh, actually, it's a good point. I need to remember about that thing. Because I'm doing some like complicated within list appending shit going on. That's a bit of a pain in the ass to like wrap your head around how that works when you're writing the query. And yeah, we're waiting for Laura. We have a tasty ass dinner for tonight. I'm excited about it. We'll cook it together, hopefully. Oh, I just pressed the record button by mistake. Lol. I thought it was the off button. Guys, you have to forgive me because I forgot to show you cooking it. It was lovely though. Look at that. It's what's it called? It's a banh mi. And it's lovely. I've seen a load of people cook it on like sword food and whatnot, and I'm like, I need to try one of them because it looks goddamn lovely. It's like a sandwich with like leftover like fried meat. Not like so we had really crispy pork mince. And then you have like pate, and then you have like pickled veg, like cucumber, muley, or daikon radish, depending on whatever you call that thing. Oh, it was lovely. It was like so fresh and so crispy and so... I told myself I was going to film it and show you, but I didn't. I planned to. Literally forgot because we was talking about like work and whatnot. as you do on a Friday. We're going to bed early though, because we have a busy ass weekend. We've got to get up early tomorrow because we're having a barbecue and the weather's nice, which means we need to go to the supermarket basically for when they open to grab ourselves some of the freshest bread and like corn on the cobs and all that kind of shit. I think we've got meat. I'm actually kind of nervous because I've never done a barbecue before. And it's Laura's family's around. So I've got to show off to her dad and be like, look how competent I am, man. Look at this. Coals. A match. Is that enough? I don't know. Laura's family are here this weekend, which makes me feel really bad because they're all like outside doing gardening. And I'm in here about to do some more programming. But my hay fever was really bad in fairness to me. I'm not an outside guy. I'm building a business in here, boys. You know what I mean? I'm now at the point where, in my code, where everything is starting to fork, like, insanely. Like, I could follow this branch, I could follow this branch, I could follow this branch. And I need to be really selective over the ones that I focus on. It's going good. It's going good. But the next bit, I feel like the next thing I need to do now is PR for this. That I can use that to test what I've just done. So I can start to cannibalize. I need to do updates. I've got to create. I need to do updates. Should be somewhat similar. I did a little bit of database restructure, some limitations with Mongo meant that I was doing it slightly differently. It's the problem I have where I keep shifting between SQL and Mongo and whatnot. I keep kind of forgetting. I keep kind of forgetting all of the differences between the two that I'm supposed to keep doing. But that's all sorted now. Like I say, there's a couple of things I need to do to polish off this microservice. And then I need to focus on the new one, the next step in the process, which is outside of the scope of this microservice. So, it's pretty exciting. And it's the evening. We have had a long day walking around a garden centre. My arch nemesis, garden centres. Not only, it's been a very garden themed weekend. Obviously they did all the garden yesterday, garden centre today, lots of plants. The hay fever's held it in there though, we're touching wood, boys. But otherwise it's been quite a quiet day. They headed off about midway through the day-ish. Played a little bit of Xbox with Sean and John and just had dinner and we're settling down to a little bit of an evening of work before we do anything else with our day. I'm going to be focusing on testing this new thing that I've done because it's been one of them things where it's like not really testable until you get right to the very end of it, and then trying to create other things that will mean that I can do it on my laptop. That's my plan of attack. I think I'm gonna have to do some I want to do some retry logic with mass transit, which is going to be fun. I think that's what I'm going to focus on my laptop tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, lad? But to be honest with you, I'm going to stop vlogging because all I'm really doing is padding out this video. I'm not really saying anything interesting, so stop. Oh, my days. I'm getting super annoyed. I just kicked up the microservices to test this thing that I'm running, and like the Azure function isn't working, which I've already tested and I know that shouldn't have changed or broken, but for some reason that's not working. And now like it's just a pain in the ass, basically. It's doing my head nutting and I'm not in the mood for debugging that kind of shit. So I'm gonna call it. I'm hoping I remembered to fix the day titles for this video. It's a lot of work to go to just to make it 2.7K. I have to change my vlogging script so that it can, so that the like dimensions for the text is dynamic, you know. Another Monday, another week. Don't know what's going on today. I think I need to set up my computer for non.NET development. At the moment I've been quite isolated in all the work I've been doing because it's been .NET microservices, but our next project doesn't have a .NET microservice. So I need to figure out how to run the Cold Fusion, which I'm not looking forward to, and how to run the JavaScript. I feel like I'm going to end up living in Cold Fusion land more than JavaScript land, but we'll see. Otherwise, I don't really have a lot to do, so I'm thinking I've got my laptop with me, so if there really is like literally nothing to do, or I might be doing testing, that's what I might be doing. It's annoying because like having so little to do is really boring, and it like gets me, like bums me out, gets me down, you know, puts me in the dumps. But every now and again I get chances to like investigate things that I don't otherwise get a chance to investigate, and I want to investigate setting up an observer for mass transit, so that I can do some weird logic around retries and failures and stuff. Because I want to raise an event when a message fails after a certain number of retries, and that currently isn't possible. So, how well do you guys remember Bingate? Because it's happened again, boys. So a while ago, I came back to the house and I had no bins. It's happened again. I don't have any bins. The green one and the black one, the paper bin and the cardboard bin, not respectively, the opposite respectively, has gone walkies. And I can't even see them. They also have a number on them. So they shouldn't have gone walkies. But they have. And I have no idea where they've gone. All I can see is there's a lot next door. They have 3 black bins over there, and I don't have any, you know? And they've got 2 green bins, but I think that one's got a crack like ours, but I feel like that one's always been there, you know? So it's not going well. It's not going well. I'm waiting for Laura to come back to save me. Otherwise, I'm trying to calm myself down and try and go back into my safe space. And I'm back for a while. I've been back for a little bit. I've had my I come back, have 3 biscuits, watch a YouTube video, and I'm about to settle into some work. It's a Monday, so it is a Monday shopping day, but Laura has someone new has started at work, so they're going for like welcome drink after work or something. So she's going to be back a little bit later than normal. So that gives me a little bit of time to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Work today was all right. We started testing my microservice, which threw up some issues because the database wasn't being reset properly. And it's also being reset on every code deploy, which is a fun one. Not sure that's the idea, but hey ho, it will do for now. But yeah, so we've been rolling with that, and we've been doing some, what's it called? Load testing and all that kind of shit. It's been an alright day. It's been a bit stressful, to be fair, trying to get all this stuff working. Because I don't have sight of most of it. I don't have access to it all. I was trying to get all of that stuff into our control, like into the developer's control. Oh, my phone's ringing. Just water Laura's plants for her while I'm on the phone to Dad. That was fun. Back into his house. What was I saying I was going to do? I need to figure out what's next, what my plan of attack is, and how I go about achieving that plan of attack. Wake up, computer, wake up. Like I said, I'm at like a point where it starts to fork out quite a lot, and I need to do these things. I also need to debug some stuff. So, debug. So I've spotted the problem with my function. The messages aren't being transmitted properly in mass transit. It's not getting the correct message type, so it's therefore not going to the right consumer. It's got the type on the base class rather than the one on the class that I'm actually sending, which is kind of annoying. And because the base class is abstract, it means I can't initialize it when it gets over to my microservice. So that's a pain in the goddamn ass. Got to figure out a fix for that, but then otherwise, I think the function's working. I can't replicate the issue I had yesterday, which I'm not happy about, because it means there's an issue. I just can't replicate it, so I can't fix it. But if I take the message and put it on the bus, it works. So I feel like the message is coming over the wire weird, as in like it's not the correct like type. Like maybe I'm submitting it as JSON and it's actually like, it's JSON really, but it's bytes maybe. I don't know. I don't know that. I'm gonna go play Xbox or something for a little bit. I'm hungry. Laura's just sent me a message being like, I think he's bought another round. And I'm like, we got shopping to do tonight, love. I'm sat here at home waiting for you so I can have some dinner. What is this? Well, it's a school night for one. I just, you know when you like spend all day doing work? Oh, no, it's not. It's not that I spent all day doing work. It's the thing I was saying about how not really having much to do drains you. If I was doing this all day, I'd be fine. But, oh, God damn it. If I was the thing is, I just want to eat. If I could eat, I'd be all right again. But the good thing is I do have a list of things that I can now chip through at my earliest convenience. So that's good, isn't it? Laura's solved the bin predicament, everybody. Bin Gate 2.0 is solved by Laura.
I'm going to take them back.
Who's coming in saying that she's had 2 gins, so she's not taking no shit. She's not fucking about.
Number on.
One of them does.
Yeah.
I didn't know where that one was. But next door, eh? We didn't get back from Sainsbury's until ridiculously late. Well, I say ridiculously late. We didn't get back to about 9:20, and then Laura had some work to do for uni. I chipped through more of my stuff. I've figured out what my problems are. I've got an issue with databases and the message bus in the cloud. Basically, it's not marking the messages the right type, so I need to fix that. And then the other one, I'm struggling to do a unwind or a projection in Mongo. I need to read up more about which is the one I'm supposed to be doing. I think I just guessed at it, and it's not finding what I want it to find. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I need to figure out a way of knowing how long videos are as well, because there's like a little readout on the screen that says how much time I've got to record. So at this frame rate, at this size, I have about 2 hours to record on an empty memory card. 1080p, it's about 3.5 hours, I think, or nearly 4, maybe. But I need to memorize that, because then I need to use that to calculate how long the video is, because I just had to export all the footage off of it so that I could find out how long I've been talking for the past, because 4 days is a long time, but it's been a weekend of very little vlogging. So when I got back from work, where's my phone? That's what came upstairs. When I got back from work, I went on an errand run to go pick up some slug pellets for Laura to protect her plants, her new pride and joys. It appears that every single, there it is, right there, right in front of my fucking eyes, every single shop in Bristol has sold out on slug pellets. So she's struggling there. Just blew my nose and a little blood came out. Because I think I'm having a nosebleed, but I can't really tell. Anyway, I am just about to head off to bed. The amount of pain that I'm going through to try and validate the type of message that's being sent, like JSON schema validation, is legitimately immense. It's a pain in the goddamn ass, to be honest with you. And it's just doing my absolute frickin' nutting. I've got it now, I think it's working. I've changed, instead of doing schema-based validation, I'm serializing it and then validating the object that's being passed to me. That should do the trick, in theory. So I figured it out, but it was a lot more painful than I expected it to be. So yeah, it's really annoying, because I've had to basically change the way that I'm doing the messages being sent across, because it's just not quite clever enough to realize what the message is that's being sent, because at the time it's running, at the moment, I didn't know what it was. The type converters in Automapper knew, but I didn't, and therefore it didn't. I've just got to keep checking. But yeah, otherwise, productive. Did I talk to you at all today? I did, yeah. I was making a phone call. Yeah, so otherwise today has been a bit of a pain in the ass at work. Everything seems to be, I feel like it's just going to be, until I leave now, it's just going to be fire after fire after fire that I just have to keep firefighting. But that's by the by. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching this video. We also watched Good Omens, first episode of Good Omens from Amazon. It's pretty good, pretty entertaining. I like it. So far, anyway, I've only seen 1 episode, but we're going to watch the rest. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you later.